162 games, man. You know, he's been playing a lot and he's been running all over the place. So that's part of it.
How's Chavis, I guess, had a couple doubles last today.
Yeah, he hit a double and a breaking ball down in the zone, fastball down in his own straight center, and it was a ground ball up the middle, roll over in another one. So, I mean, physically okay. You know, he bounced back well, you know, from back-to-back games. I haven't talked to Jamie or Brad about it. I don't know if he's playing tonight, but at least, you know, 11 innings, a few at-bats, you know, so far so good.
Is there any chance you would have him in Colorado?
I don't think so.
Okay. Want to get more at-bats? Yeah. At this point, it's not physical, right? It's just getting...
getting timing back, yeah. I mean, he's bouncing back, so that's a good thing.
Vazquez is on pace to catch over 100 games. What does that kind of just say about his durability?
I mean, like I said, he did an outstanding job in the off-season preparing himself. You know, lately he's been doing an outstanding job calling the game. We talk about him blocking the ball 10 days ago, and in this series he's done a good job. Offensively, he's a threat, you know. He's doing an outstanding job. He's been good, and he's a guy we're going to rely on. Today's a day game after a night game, but tomorrow we get an off day. We get an off day on Thursday, so, you know, he's going to catch most of the games. And, you know, he's been very solid as far as, like, preparation, and we're very happy with the way he has progressed.
Do you think there'll ever be a time in the game where, I guess, you know, catchers go, you know, catch over 100 games? You know, it's obviously not as prevalent today. But.
I mean, it's hard, obviously, physically, but at the same time, there's not too many catchers out there that can do both. You know, play good defense and swing the bat, and we're one of the lucky teams that have one. So we'll try to maximize his talent and use him as much as possible.
And a year ago when the Devers went on that long rehab that you talked about, that you learned a lot, what was your intention by keeping him down there for a few days?
Besides being healthy, you know, just get his timing back, you know, and you know, you try to grind through stuff, and physically you're not able to do things that put you in a good spot in the batter's box or playing defense, and that was the reason. And I think, you know, he was able to slow down the game, forget about the results, and work on his craft, and at the same time, you know, get healthy. And when he got back, he was a different player.
So I guess he was on the DL twice with the same kind of thing right around then. The first time he had one rehab game, and the second one was longer. Was that like were you trying to send a message with the second one?
No. It just, we needed him to spend time down there. You know, just inconsistent at bats as far as like his health, and he needed to reset his body, and he was able to do that.
And you think it was like he thought of it as a wake-up call?
You gotta ask him that. You know, if it was a wake-up call or not. We just felt like he needed to go down there and get healthy and work on a few things as far as like his body and put himself in a position to be successful. And he was able at the same time slow the game down, and you saw the results in September and October.
Are you hoping that Owings has made some adjustments with his swing in the last week or so?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lefty, it's a tough lefty, and that's what he's here for. I know he hasn't hit lefties throughout the season, but you know, we gotta use everybody to make this happen. You know, and you know, he's been working hard at it, and you know, I don't put the guys in the lineup hoping that they produce. You know, I expect them to produce. So you know, he's a guy that, you know, he has a role in the team, and it happens that today he's playing.
What have you thought about Holt against lefties? I mean, he hit them pretty well last year, but you haven't used him a lot versus lefties this year.
He's been good. He's been solid, you know. But we got to take care of Brock. We know his injury history, you know, and you know, I know we got an off day tomorrow, but for him, you know, and it's a little bit harder, you know, to bounce back from a night game, you know, and you just got to make sure we keep him healthy. You know, the workload is going to be hard. It's going to be a lot in the last month, so we'll take advantage of the off days with certain guys, and we'll go from there. But that doesn't mean that he won't play today. You know, we can maximize some matchups later on with the righties. You know, they're not going to take off a lefty to bring a lefty, and the lefty pitched yesterday, so we can take advantage of that and have some matchups that work for us later in the game.
You said a few times this year, you know, you're trying to protect Brock. Is that just from generally wearing down, or anything in
I've seen
particular?
it the last 2 years. You know, like whenever he plays a lot. You know, last year with the hammy, and you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying he's injury prone, but you know, when you're not used to play every day, it's hard. You know, and I always say he's a lot better player than I was. But you know, when I was able to, when they put me out there for 10 days, it was good. When I was playing more than 10 games, it sucked. I was bad. So, you know, I got a pretty good feel about utility players and how to use them. And people can get caught up on the numbers and all that stuff, but you know, when you overplay them, then you're gonna run into problems. You know, because physically they're gonna wear down, their swing is not gonna be there, and then for them to catch up with their swing is gonna take a while. So, you know, they need their off days, and there's a perfect day for him to do that. We use him as a weapon later on in the game, and he'll be ready to play over the week.
When you see him more at second base, and in the past he's kind of drifted around, played different positions. Is that just kind of because of the roster, or?
I think the roster and where he fits. I mean, he's a good second baseman. He can play short, obviously third and the outfield, but I'm very comfortable with him at second base.
Even though you haven't necessarily used him at the other positions, how, I guess, helpful is it to you as a manager that you know he can?
I mean that's where the game is going. The game is going to versatility. You know, I think the Rays now are like into the two-way player. You know, we got one, we don't use him, Mitch. So you know, his ERA is at 0. He says so. That's why he doesn't want to pitch anymore. But that's the way the game is going. Christian, for example, you know, Christian. I have no hesitation to move him around. You know, put him at first, at second, at third, because I know he can do it, and obviously he's a catcher. Even Sandy can stand at third base and make plays. So, you know, the more versatile guys you have in your roster, the easier it is. You know, and you can add one more pitcher, or you can stay put and go from there. But I think that's the way the game is going. You know, versatility is huge. You know, for roster configuration and to manage the game.
Even with the extra roster spot next year, do you still think people will value that?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's very important. It's very important. You know, it helps you to map out the week, and then in case of an emergency, you know, you can go somewhere else. I think Pete made a point last week. You know, for us playing Christian at first, we were able to hit for Sandy and not lose the DH. You know. And guys like that make it easier to manage the game.
Given the usage you got out of the pen last night, what are you hoping to get out of BJ this afternoon?
We're good. BJ should be fine, and I think you know, our two lefties out of the bullpen, they can give us an inning. We'll try to take care of Brage, but he can give us an out. We got Cash, you know, Mr. San Diego. You know, it's been like a homecoming for him, so. He might give us 2, so we're set. We're in a good place.
You mentioned Evaldi's velocity ticked down a little bit in that 4th inning, and you were going to check in with him on today. Did you think that was just a result of him kind of running the bases, or do you think it was just a build-up, or is there anything more with that?
Probably build-up. Probably. I don't know about running the bases. I know he mentioned that. I'll check with him, but I think it's more build-up than anything else. Also, there were a few things that we noticed that we didn't do yesterday that we should do. You know, last year we talked about it. Pitch up in the zone. He hasn't pitched up in the zone for a while. You know, and that's a weapon for him. You know, when he pitched up in the zone last year, he dominated. This year, it seems like everything is down. You know, from the waist down, and that's something we have to correct for his next one. And if we do that, I think we're going to be in a good spot.
Porcello and Rodriguez in Colorado.
Yeah, Porcello. Yeah, offensive guys. I mean, sorry, not the second day. Yeah, we're good.